do all the interesting faces in the beginning. That way it's faster. Whoa, Boba Fett. No, really? No, I'm just gonna do like, think. This is the classic Mofar goggles. What? All right, that should be plenty. What up, Jared? What up, Mopar? Mopar, you ready? Mopar, where's the spatula?
Da, 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 da.
I want to have somebody auto-tune our music into just a single note just to see how bad it sounds.
I wonder. I'd like to do that to any music. Just see like what would hold up.
Right. Nothing. None of it.
I
Just
bet there's
drums.
some like thrash riffs that would hold up. Because it's more about stuff like that.
It's like Rain of Blood, same song. Same notes. Dude, can you believe this? We're starting on time. Here we go.
Okay, kids, let's go.
We're having fun.
There has been an awakening. Have you
Don't get ahead of
felt it?
yourself. I'm not having fun yet, bro.
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny. Hello.
Beep it up.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dick
Smash face.
Hello there.
Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy. Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
We're here. Right as the night. Sunday. Another episode of The Mandalorian. Another bunch of things to talk about. Another week to wait.
Another week. And I cannot wait. I'm sick of these half-hour-long episodes. If The Bachelorette can run 2 hours, why the fuck can't Star Wars?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Every
Yeah.
fucking week.
Yeah. It's because of the commercials. How long is the actual episode? Probably an hour 10.
That's fair assessment.
50 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, still. I'm down for an hour as well. Put commercials in there. I don't give a shit.
You know, would be a great thing for Disney Plus to do is like to make their own commercials and put them in there just to like be entertaining. They don't have to pitch anything, but just like make goofy parody commercials. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's now that we're diving right in, that is a good thing that you just brought up is just like
Yes, it is.
a lot of series wrapped certain scenes around like the planning of a commercial break.
Oh,
We don't have that anymore. Like there's
Right.
there's an obvious like dun dun dun, and then you're like
I know.
Altoids.
Get your dentures here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you notice that when you watch older shows on Netflix when there
Yeah.
are no breaks. You're just like it fades to black for like 3 seconds. You're like, oh, okay, I see what they were doing. Commercials.
Back then, way back in the day.
It's gotten to the point really when I go home to my mom's, I'm like, she has DirecTV. I'm like, I can't watch stuff. It's 50% commercials.
Yeah.
So aggravating.
It's beyond annoying. No, I'm on board with you.
Fuck. I think I
Unwatchable.
finally convinced her to. I said when I come back for Christmas, cancel DirecTV, and we'll just set you up with Hulu and the live TV edition. It'll be like $60. That's half your bill, and we're just gonna make it happen because I can't sit through this.
Yeah, I've considered that with my family as well. Just getting everybody on the Hulu live.
Yeah.
And we'll split the bill. It'll be what, $25 each, less than that. Like fuck it. But yeah, I just it's hard to get in three households on the same.
Yeah, no one wants to change. Change is hard. No one wants to change their ways.
It's going to be even
It's
easier
like
and
Star
better.
Wars fans.
It's not worth it. If it's
Right,
going to be
yeah.
easier and better and save us money, it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now. I'm Commander Cody.
Good. Hi, Kay. Hi, Commander Cody. Hi, Kiki.
What came out of your mouth? Okay. Okay.
I'm just now learning how to talk. If you guys haven't
It's okay.
understood that, I've been having a hard time today. I was trying to talk to my family, and words were coming out that weren't words, and I was like, okay, I'm pre-recording over here. No, words are coming out.
Just gonna sit over here in the corner and nod my head. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Simple yes and no. Thanks everybody for joining us. Jared, Brennan Quinn, Cameron Smith, Turkey Sandwich. Good to hear from you guys. Thanks for being here.
Smack House over here.
So yeah, you started off by saying 30-minute episodes are bullshit, and you're obviously referring to The Mandalorian chapter 7,000. It's a good week. It's been fun. The past few weeks, there was no filler episode, shall we say?
No,
so,
that's a good point too. We've talked about it and said, the filler episodes are fine, but
I haven't said that.
We've gotten to the point that they are unnecessary. We get it. We get it.
Yes.
No more blurred rides. We don't need another side mission.
Right.
Let's get this shit going.
No montages. You can get right to the chase.
Which I have a good feeling, because if at this point, they do these side missions, it's going to be like apparent. Like it's not going to mesh well. They're at a launching point, and if you take any trajectory other than the main plot here, it's going to piss me off, which is the only thing that matters.
So we have 3 more episodes, right? I feel like they really have to cut to the chase and we need to finish that, round the story out for season 2.
Yeah.
So I think because you said when you were looking at IMDb during the premiere that it was slated for 9 episodes instead of 8. So we should have 3 left.
Mandalorian season 2. I'm going to Google it real quick.
But as we have found out with this episode, the fact that they had Tamara Morrison listed for 1 episode as Boba Fett was
point.
not accurate. They kind of withheld information as to not spoil things. So that 9 episode thing could be different. I've also heard rumors that the last episode is going to be an hour at a minimum as a finale. So who knows where we're going?
No joke. What would be a great opportunity is if they did 9 regular episodes in a season and then dropped like an ending movie at the end. Like make it an hour and a half, make it 2 hours, and let's get to going. That would be fucking perfect.
It'd be fun. I don't know if they would go that way. Here's one thing in defense of the 30-minute movie or the 30-minute episode. They don't have to fill a time slot. So like if the story arc for this episode is just this, they don't have to add an extra 20 minutes to fill that 50-minute slot. They can just do that story and move on to the next thing. So that is one positive thing. They're not giving us filler within the episode. They're just giving us a whole filler episode in between. So I just talked myself out of it.
So let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
I mean, I still haven't seen Darth Vader, so I'm not happy.
Yeah, after last week's podcast, you're just like, oh, Vader better show up from the dead.
At this point, that's all I've ever wanted and will ever need.
However, I mean, we're getting right into spoilers, so who knows who Baby Yoda was communing with? Maybe he was communing with Force ghosts. So maybe he did talk to Anakin. You don't know.
God, yeah, it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
We'll just dive into the episode. There's obvious stuff. We get to see Boba Fett in action, which we almost never get to see. He's been a joke to himself up until this episode.
Basically never seen him in action in the movies, on screen, ever.
Which it was cool because, we've seen Mando in action. We've seen other Mandos in action. And Boba Fett, even in his Boba Fatness, was still on top of his game.
Boba Fatness? What do you mean? He's thick?
Oh, yeah. Thick boy.
Tape?
Yeah. Did you see him stretching out that man? I mean, Beskar Steel maybe deflect lightsabers, but those biscuit rolls on the side,
cannot deflect that extra order of fries.
That extra order of fries.
I did think it was a little awkward looking, but I was chalking that up. Here I go again with the chalk. I was chalking that up to he was wearing a whole robe and shit underneath of it. I don't know if it was Boba and his thickness. I was more concerned with the robe that he had on before he put the armor on.
I'm not mad at it. Actors grow in girth over time. He hasn't seen actual screen time since episode 3. So
well, he's been in other stuff, but yeah.
Well, not Star Wars.
No, but I mean, it's not like he's been a working actor. It's not like he let
I
himself
know,
go.
but
He was in Aquaman.
fitting in armor is one thing,
Sure.
you know, and this we're talking close to 15 years later. Well, yeah, 15 years later.
Well, we'll see how he looks in the next episode as he has some time to, you know, stop on Yavin and see a merchant and, you know, buy up some new items.
Ooh, so some fun stuff happened in the 30 minutes.
Yes.
Obviously we get to in Boba Fett in action. What was your? I mean, were you just like holding on for dear life, and you're like
rock hard the whole time?
Keep the rock.
Yes, the whole episode. Honestly, it was so many treats, and I'm curious. Even before I dive in, I'm curious what you think, because we spent a lot of last week's episode talking about fan service and the overdoing of said fan service, and this episode was basically all fan service. There's Boba Fett, there's Slave One, there's Dark Troopers, and all they do is beat the shit out of Stormtroopers the whole time. So, is that a little overboard for you, or were you here for it?
No, so there's a difference. When I was talking about
ready for the categories here.
Yep. So when I'm talking about like it's all fan service, but Boba Fett is a part of the story. He is a character in this storyline. So that's no longer fan service. And the fact that Slave One is there is because Boba Fett's there. It goes hand in hand. The Dark Troopers have already been released, and it's along this timeline. The toss-outs out there that are a stretch are it's basically that one episode. It really just scarred me, I think. Where, you know, it's obvious stuff like the pit droids haven't changed at all. It's been 50 years and it's the same old pit droids. Now you can chalk that up. I'm chalking it up with you. That it's Tatooine. You know, they're using scraps of stuff for 50, 60 years after. That's fine. But, you know, in any other world, stuff gets updated. Droids get updated. You know, it seems like every decade. So I go back to that Marshall episode and we see pit droids. We see R4. It's the exact same R4. And it's like, ooh, cool. Kind of a stretch. Then you see Anakin's pod race, and you're like, well, okay, like, does everything on screen have to be connected? I guess it's the idea of not everything on screen has to be connected to someone we know. It's a huge fucking mungus galaxy. I should almost see nothing on screen that is recognizable. If you really want to get down to it, absolutely nothing. We think of how big like Earth is. And let's say I have a pocket knife that I grew up with. I just pulled that out of my ass. But if you went to China, I do not expect to see Mopar's pocket knife floating around.
Depends on how important of a character you are on Earth.
Well, that's true. I'm destined for greatness, so there's a high possibility. But
how do you twine into the plot on Earth?
But that was my issue. It was just like every corner you look, it was kind of a stretch of a connection. Now, like the Krayt Dragon, there are multiple Krayt Dragons, assumingly, on Tatooine. So it's like that's more of a creature than a hardcore character. You know, I'm okay with that. So I guess my wrapping around is like Boba Fett's it's not fan service. He's a character of this storyline, which is fine. Slave One. It comes with it. We've never seen Slave One blow up. I'm fine with it. So,
man, I don't know. From a certain point of view, you could say in fact that Boba Fett's even in the show is just fan service.
And Ahsoka,
yeah,
and Baby Yoda.
That's what I mean. It's all fan service except for Baby Yoda.
If we're fans of Star Wars, it is all fan service.
I know. I guess I hear where you were coming from last week. I guess. I don't know. It's weird because where's the line? Because at a certain point, everything does become fan service. Whereas, you know, that's what I want, man. This is the opportunity for them to do that without sacrificing like a 3-year wait for a movie with a brand new storyline. They get to unfold it over, you know, 30 minutes every week for a couple weeks. And, you know, that's where the fan service can really come through.
Yeah. I mean, they have limited opportunity to make connections. I just, you know, certain episodes, I feel like they've been overdoing it. This one, I didn't feel that at all. I thought, good. I'm happy they look, we've talked about how if they didn't do anything more with Boba Fett, we would have been pissed.
Yeah.
The fact that he showed back up makes sense, and I'm happy to see him in action. Perfect.
Yep.
Slave One was just a bonus.
Ooh.
Now it's a bonus because we know that the Razor Crest is no longer.
Right.
So, we'll be seeing the Mandalorian and, well,
Slave one.
Hopefully, Baby Yoda is aboard Slave One at some point.
I guess we'll see.
So yeah, it was cool that they called back. I don't know her name. What's the bounty hunter that they left? He left for dead in the Tatooine one.
I don't know. Basil Shan. I don't remember.
I'm fine with that. So it was cool to see her in action as well, because she was fucking sniping badass who couldn't miss. Obviously,
You forgot. I don't miss.
did she say that?
Something like that. No, seriously, it might be that exact same thing. Fennec Shand.
Fennec.
Definitely a Star Wars name. No, yeah, she's like, she has her sights aimed on Baby Yoda, and she's like, if you remember, I don't miss.
Yeah, it's a cool dynamic too, because Mando himself is trying to do everything by the book. He's quickly learning that you can't do anything by the book in the Star Wars universe. Everything goes awry. You have to bend the rules. You have to work with people you don't want to. Yeah, exactly. And you come across someone like Boba Fett and Fennec. It's like, I don't want to deal with you guys, but we have the same enemy. So let's get this shit going. So they make pacts and make deals, and of course we're going to see this relationship grow, because they said their side of the pact, or their side of the agreement hasn't been fulfilled. So
right now, I would say Mando didn't want to work with them at first, but now that we have a little bit of
background there,
insight on Boba Fett, and is he a Mandalorian? Is his dad a Mandalorian? We think now probably he is. Well, now he probably feels better about the armor, and he has no qualms about joining someone who at first he thought was, an imposter or stealing his armor. But now as a true quote unquote Mandalorian, he probably is down to clown with Boba Fett.
Yep. Up the cluck. He, also, before I forget.
Oh, don't forget.
What do you think about Bill Burr being called back for sure into this fucking series?
Listen, I'm okay with it, because I liked his little role in the first season. Sure. Some people thought it was not out of character. What's the word?
Out of universe.
Out of universe. I liked it. I just thought it was so random that in the shortest episode, there's so many things tacked on to the end, and he just shows back up on Navarro, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I need Bill Burr. Why? Well,
we're gonna laugh the Empire to death, or he's gonna tell poop.
He's gonna go rant, and Moff Gideon's just gonna
Moff Gideon's gonna throw a fit.
Yeah, they didn't explain why. It wasn't like, oh, we got to break into this cruiser, and I know this dude. They just kind of left it open. So that was the only thing that was weird about it. I'm happy that he's back.
I think it's an interesting, he's obviously building his team for the season 2. I don't know.
Finale.
But yeah, finale, battle, whatever. The Moff Gideon confrontation. You must confront him.
Right. Like, he's gathering his party before venturing forth. How many people are going to be in the party? Is it 4? Is it 6? Is it 10? Is it a whole squad of Mandalorian? Is there
going to be a Jedi involved?
Is Bo-Katan coming back into the mix? I assume so. So, obviously we have speculation. We haven't even gotten into the whole plot of the episode, but speculations. Let's start with Mandalorians. So I was positing that by the end of the show, not this season, but by the end of the show, the Mandalorians are going to retake Mandalore. Mandalorian's going to be a part of that. Well, now we have Boba Fett back into the mix, and I assume that he is going to be roped back into the Mandalorian culture by way of Din Djarin and getting caught up with this crew.
You still stand by that? You said
I'm just assuming. Like, I mean, I guess in one world Boba Fett could help him out and then, fuck off at the end of the season. But I think this is leading towards something bigger with Mandalore in the future in season 3. So
okay. So they're not gonna. It's not
going to be Boba Fett ongoing. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. So you're saying it could be finalized. It doesn't have to be finalized this season. The whole Mando.
Right.
No, I was gonna say, I think they're throwing too much at the fan here for anything Mandalore to happen this season. I assume he might get a permanent partner in some type of Jedi form, whether Ahsoka meets back up with him or whoever Baby Yoda communed with. will reach back out and find him somehow.
Yeah.
I do have a feeling that he's gonna get a permanent companion by the end of this season.
Because how many threads do we have? I mean, we have him finding other Mandalorians. We have Baby Yoda. We have Baby Yoda trying to find a Jedi, or him trying to find a Jedi for him, I should say.
Dark Troopers.
And we have Dark Troopers. We have Gideon's plans. We have now Baby Yoda is stolen. And we
Thrawn.
have Boba Fett. We have Thrawn was mentioned. So
Luke's
there's so
running around. Luke's running around in the galaxy right now. Like there's so much going on.
I'm talking about threads in the show.
Sure.
That hasn't been mentioned yet. But if they only have 3 episodes left, I mean, really all they can wrap up is they have to storm that ship and get Baby Yoda back. I feel like that's going to be the main resolution of season 2, is them rescuing Grogu.
Yeah, and it might be like obtaining blueprints. There's always fucking plans or data that needs to be uploaded.
Yes.
So
hard drives.
Let's just assume that this is phase 1 of the Dark Trooper, or phase 0, however you want to view it.
Mhm.
And phase 2 is seemingly on its way. Because at this point, I'm assuming they're going to draw enough midichlorians or enough blood from Baby Yoda that they're going to be able to use it towards their end goal somewhat. So whether it's going to be going into cloning Moff Gideon or into an Emperor Palpatine thing, or leading to Snoke or whatever what happens, or it could be some part of the Dark Trooper stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like the Moff Gideon's going to get the stuff that he needs, regardless if I'm assuming Baby Yoda's going to end up back into Din Djarin's hands at the end. But
yeah, I mean, how long does it take him to draw some blood? I mean, he's probably going to get a few vials filled up before they even make their attack, if it's going to be an attack. I assume we have an episode of planning and then a 2-episode finale of them like storming the cruiser or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
because that's kind of how they wrapped up season 1. There was reaching out for help, and then the whole getting back to Navarro and Moff Gideon showing up and all that. That was over 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, seemingly we've got Fennec and Boba through the end of the season, at least until they obtain the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously Bill Burr. So, I mean, he's got a good group of killers.
Bo-Katan's definitely coming back into the mix, and who knows how many Mandos she's screwing around with. We saw 3, but she could have a whole clan, you know?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
wants the Darksaber. She wants a Darksaber. Ahsoka wants Thrawn. Mando wants Baby Yoda. Boba got his armor back, but he has a debt to pay. I mean, this just... every time I feel like we get some answers, there's just 7 more questions.
That's how Star Wars is.
There's 2 answers and 19 questions.
Yeah. Dark Troopers. How fucking crazy was that? It was like flying Terminators, dude. It was terrifying.
It was cool, but they didn't...
Here we go.
Well, I was going to say...
They didn't really do anything.
it seems cool. I'm excited for where it's going. They look like Iron Man. But yeah, they didn't do anything. They landed, and then they snatched the little toddler, and then they jettisoned back up. Yeah, so I mean, they look cool, but they haven't done anything yet, so who knows?
You know what's kind of... I can't believe they didn't use some of the Dark Troopers. Like, if the group of 4 were flying back to the ship, and Boba Fett's driving up on them in Slave One, I'm so surprised they didn't just say, okay, 2 of them break off and go after Slave One. Let's go half goddamn, starfighter mode.
Or we saw how many were in those barracks. Send another fucking 12 of them out.
Yeah, they should have sent, get the garrison out, or whatever.
Are we blind? Yeah, there was a few weird things. I mean, if you're going to... Obviously, the goal is to get Baby Yoda and kill everybody else, or at least leave them stranded. Why wouldn't you just send the Dark Troopers out to begin with?
Yeah.
They're going to, we don't need to see 14 Stormtroopers get taken out. We already know Stormtroopers can't shoot. Their armor doesn't do anything. It's like there's no anticipation or worry or excitement there with the Stormtroopers. It's just an excuse for Boba Fett to be savage.
Yeah, and what was that, bottle opener thing that he was hacking the fuckers up with?
Oh, the gaffy stick, bro. Gaffy stick in
action. I didn't even make that connection. I saw it when he was holding it upside down, I guess, and I was like, "What the fuck is this tuning thing?" It's always a fucking tuning fork.
Yeah. So there's an interesting thing on Disney Plus. So you can, when you have options for audio and for subtitles, you can turn on something that says English descriptive audio. It's accessibility thing, but there's like a narrator that speaks about what's happening on screen for anyone that's like vision impaired. So if you turn that on after you watch it for the first time, that will give you some insights into some interesting things. So she says like Boba Fett takes off his cycler rifle and gaffy stick. So he has a Tusken Raider cycler rifle and a gaffy stick, which is what we see slung across his back. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just searched gaffy stick. It's weird because I feel like they didn't look quite like that in KOTOR.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, I think you're right. I didn't recognize it when we first saw him in episode 1, but now I'm like, oh yeah, gaffy stick. He's been living amongst the sand people. That makes sense.
I'm gonna bring it up. I guess they do
Tatooine.
kind of look like that. How fucking weird. Oh well. Yeah, pretty fucking brutal. He wasn't just bashing them; he was stabbing them through the armor. What is the armor? Like,
Murdering them.
Oh yeah. When he was doing that murdering.
Yeah, there's no point to have the armor on.
And there really isn't. It's
no.
Part of it's like, we get it. It's a joke. Like the armor does nothing, but they've been exploiting that violently. Like no matter what, they're not all knocked out laying on the ground and then they get scooped up and revived later. Like
right.
Where they're assumed dead because Boba Fett tripped one of them. Oh, he's on his back. He's out. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Even like Chirrut Imwe in Rogue One. It's a badass scene, but I mean, he just punches a few of them and knocks them over. I mean, come on, man. You got armor on. What's the point?
Whoa. I think I stumbled across something that was pretty...
And their helmets don't filter out toxins. What's the fucking point, guys? Come on.
So, I'm on Screen Rant. Like, I just searched...
boy.
So it's official. But there is a kind of a connection here that I didn't realize. I was looking up the gaffy stick. And it says the gaffy stick is based on a Fijian weapon called a Totokia, pictured below.
Interesting.
Let me
share that screen, biatch.
Look at this old.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
That's like exactly it.
Look how close it is. I did not realize it was based on. That's so cool that they base it on like actual stuff. But let's see. Yeah, the Totokia.
Damn. That's sweet. I dig it. I don't remember what they looked like at all on KOTOR.
Yeah, now that I see this weird fork that they're showing us, like I don't. So weird.
Oh man.
Oh, Brennan is saying the first gaffy sticks from A New Hope look just like that. How weird. It's not registering in my gullet today. Huh.
Oh, yeah, they look kind of like it. Interesting. So many cool things. So let's talk about the episode.
Oh yeah,
but let's talk about the plot. I mean, like
they land.
It's always a good
They're
thing.
going to the top of the mountain, which they always find immediately because it's
yeah. Let's talk about like the setting. So we're going to Tython. Go to Tython. There you'll find a temple. There you can commune with Jedi. Tython, this Jedi place.
All right.
I think I'm not alone in thinking that it just looked they were 50 miles outside of Los Angeles.
They were back on Tatooine. Tython is a city on Tatooine now.
I hate to harp on it because it is the return of Boba Fett, but I mean, I did not feel in the Star Wars universe on that planet.
Yeah, I have to admit, like the rock climbing, like battle up the hill aspect, I thought was kind of cool. It added just a little bit of like a battle terrain-esque that you can kind of use to your advantage.
Right, they're not just in like an open dune sea.
Yeah, which was nice to see. Or just a fucking hallway on a Death Star or something. There's always
17 hallways, yes.
There's always hallways in a pit somewhere. But like them coming up to Tython, I'm looking at a picture of Tython.
Yeah.
It is very green. And there's not that much water. Like you look at Earth and it's like 70% water. This is like 90% green.
Damn.
Which is weird because we didn't really see any of that green. Maybe it's just, ancient stuff always exists in deserts, I guess. So,
I also I don't know much about Tython from Legends, but I just feel like I don't know. I'm just thinking ancient Jedi place, ancient site, ancient this or that. It's just not what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so I'm on fandom, and it says there's a quote: "Welcome to Tython, Lord Vader." So, and that's from Dr. Aphra. So supposedly Vader was on Tython in the comics, which I guess I thought I was all caught up with those, but seemingly not.
Well, it's from the Dr. Aphra series, which I don't think you have
that
read.
makes sense. Yeah, I read the
He
first.
does pop into it, though.
Yeah, I did read the very first one, I think, of Aphra.
Huh.
Yeah, and what it is what it is, but again, it's always sand, it's always rocks. That's fine.
I mean, I like the change up for sure.
I like the temple. The fucking thing at
Yes.
the peak
It was cool because it looked
really cool.
like Stonehenge style. It looked like an ancient site. It wasn't like I don't even know how to describe it. What's it called? Megalith. It looked like a megalithic site. It was cool.
Yeah. No, I agree. I immediately thought Stonehenge, and it looks like nothing to the naked eye, and then when you're a Force user, you walk up, you're like, oh, this is a goddamn transceiver. Let's call someone up.
You know what it reminded me of? I'm trying to remember the name of this planet in Fallen Order.
Planet.
It looked like that first planet in Fallen Order that you go to, where there's no enemies. It's all like creatures.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it reminded me of, now that I'm thinking about it.
Where you go like inside that huge tree.
Yeah, Bogano, I think. Yeah, it's like
Bogano.
the first thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
That's kind of I got the same kind of feeling. All rock structures and things like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, which, again, we don't know who the fuck or who's at the other end of that telephone call, that forced telephone call, but
yeah, if it was a call, I don't know what he was doing because he doesn't speak yet, so we don't know what he was doing. It's not like he can ask him.
I wonder if he was like communing with someone or if it was just like a beacon.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like asking for help or just reaching out, and it's, sitting upon that stone just allows him to reach further out into the galaxy for Force users. And or if there's a direct other rock on another planet that
like other
directly
temples.
communes. Yeah.
Man, because to think about, obviously none of the Jedi in this time period are together, but there are Jedi around. So if he's communing with any of them, he could be sending a message to like Ahsoka and Luke and Cal Kestis and Ezra all at the same time.
It would be really cool.
All of it.
Yeah, that's a valid point. How like in episode 3, Obi-Wan and Yoda go back to the temple and then they change whatever the fuck the code.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? So don't come back to the temple. Stay the fuck where you're at. Whatever.
The distress signal.
Yeah, thank you. If there was some sort of direct or distress signal-esque communication towers that didn't rely on technology, is what I'm saying.
Right, like it wasn't a computer.
Exactly.
Like a natural SOS or something.
Yes, and that there are beacons across the galaxy, one being Octo.
Yeah. Like every temple has its own little
or the temples
Morse code thing.
Yeah, and there's one on Dantooine, and that's why there's a temple there.
Jedi Morse code.
But that'd be really cool because obviously it would take a Force user, which limits it way the fuck down, to even recognize something like that. So
analog, yeah, turkey sandwich analog.
Send chicken nuggies.
Dark troopers are stealing my child. Please help.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be really cool, and I did love the CGI aspects of it where they did the kind of the blue light. It all looked cool. It looked really cool.
It was great, and it was like a force field as it was happening. He was kind of protected. He
That's
didn't
why I was
know,
like,
but if the dark troopers came down, yeah. First of all, okay, you got the picture. You can't get in the force field. You don't have to try it 6 times, and I don't have to see you try it 6 times. Fucking calm down. But imagine, Baby Yoda had no way of knowing this, but imagine if the dark troopers came down and like he just kept that connection up, he probably would have been safe.
Well, I think he was trying to. He just ran out of energy. It obviously tires him out to use the Force, and we've seen that across both seasons.
Yeah.
As soon as he uses something, he needs a fucking quick nap.
Needs some bone broth, to get back into that. Yep.
Yeah, it was cool.
Cool.
It is really also, we've been putting a lot of time and effort into building up the Mandalorians and how badass they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that Din Djarin is not the best or fastest, but he's, formidable quite a bit. Like he can handle himself.
Yep.
And, from walrus to...
From walrus to walrus? What were you going to say?
From walrus to rhinos. He can handle them all, He's a Pokemon master. But it really... When he
I don't even know about that. He got a lot of help from Green Baby Yoda.
No, that's true. But it really put him in his place.
Yeah.
Like he was like doing everything he could, and there's nothing he could do. When you come across a Force user, it's like,
yeah,
dude, get fucked. Like, go deal with the stormtroopers down there. We'll handle this.
Right. I thought you were going with that is that Din Djarin is a badass, but you haven't seen nothing until you see Boba Fett with his armor on.
Yeah, we've seen some really cool Mandalorian stuff, but it really finally the scene really set Boba Fett's skills apart from the rest of the Mandalorians. Like, they're all formidable, they're all great, but Boba Fett is obviously a step above and can do whatever the fuck he wants. Even when overmatched, overpowered, he's going to find a way, and mostly there's rockets involved.
Right. There's always rockets.
Finally,
Finally,
we see two ships trying to retreat, and someone does something about it. They don't just go. They don't just go. Oh man.
Oh, we lost them.
We'll get them next episode.
No,
that was one of the most badass things that happened in one of the Vader books.
Yeah.
Vader wasn't having it either. There was a ship taken off with someone he needed. So instead of, I think he was really tired or something ridiculous. He had,
how does Vader get tired, man?
Well, he had no limbs. So maybe he was low on charge. He needed recharge. But he did a lightsaber throw up all the way to the ship taking off and like sliced this guy bad enough to kill him from the ground. And there was like a festival going on, I think, and people like saw that thing and they were like, dude, this like devil blade came out of nowhere and killed this guy.
This demon just chucked a bright sword into the sky and took down a ship.
Yeah, it was but my point is like I've always wanted, and we get a taste of that in Rise of Skywalker with Rey reaching out. Finally, someone does something about it. Yeah. And that, which actually kind of pisses me off, because you think, how many times did Vader stand there with the Falcon taken off and just shake his fist?
His power stance, as you so aptly put.
God damn it, my shoulders hurt.
Damn it! I'm going to hook my thumbs into my belt and grumble as they fly away. God.
Rest it all.
Han Solo again.
Shouldn't have lifted today.
You meddling rebels. Damn you.
You meddling rebels.
What I want to know is, how many rockets does Boba Fett have, and where does he?
I know.
And how does he reload? Because Cobb Vanth used that same rocket a week ago. Where did he get more rockets?
I hope they're a common rocket that you can buy from a droid on Naboo.
45 mil rocket, please.
Yep. Give me one.
It's also cool that he's made, obviously a lot of special modifications to that armor. It is Beskar, but it's not just like Din Djarin's fresh Beskar. He's got different attachments, so to speak. And he didn't forget how to use them in the past 5 years.
Do we know? God, this is going to make me sound dumb because I think there is a reason. Do we know what dented Boba Fett's helmet then? Or his helmet?
Oh, I also don't know that, and I feel like that's going to make me feel dumb too.
If it's Beskar steel, then there has to be something major that dented the fucking stuff.
True.
Maybe other Beskar. I don't know.
Someone here knows. Brennan or Cameron, you guys know. Where's Shinobi when you need him?
I know.
Encyclopedia boy, get on here.
Someone please make something up so we can...
I'm going to start calling Shinobi Mr. Wikipedia. I'm not going to say that.
I'm not saying that either.
Yeah, good question. I don't know how he got that dent. Obviously not from a blaster bolt.
No, I am your
I guess we can get into gripes. I mean,
here we go.
I'm a fan of the whole episode.
The whole thing. There's never been anything bad.
Tamara Morrison is kicking ass. There's nothing to complain about. For all intents and purposes, that's also Commander Cody kicking some ass. If I want to, Just imagine. What was Boba Fett doing if he had Slave 1 this whole time? What the fuck has he been doing on Tatooine if he has Slave 1? Drive that shit into that stupid mining colony, blow everything up, and grab your armor off of dead Cobb Vanth. Come on, man. It just leaves the questions. I don't want to dive too far into the grievances, but it just leaves the questions open, you know?
Again, it might be something along the lines of he was using his stuff as bait. And, you know, if someone's coming for his armor or Beskar armor in general, it's going to lead to something major. So I'm hoping that's kind of along the lines of what's happening. Now, has he been sitting there for 30 years picking his nose? Like, maybe.
5 years, you mean? Yeah.
Has it only been 5?
Well, yeah, because he goes into the Sarlacc pit in Return of the Jedi. So it's been like 4, 5, 6 years.
I'm still all messed up on the timeline. So we're only 5 years beyond Return
6.
of the Jedi. Yep. Okay.
Well, they're probably going to have some downtime in the next episode to chat. You know, I'm very curious for some... one of the best parts of Game of Thrones is the dialogue, and I'm really excited for, you know, Din and Boba Fett to just have some time to chat with each other. So, well, what you been doing these past few years, buddy?
Well, also, obviously, Boba Fett can drop some serious knowledge. We talk about Ahsoka being the glue character across everything. Boba Fett can easily start becoming that because of, you know, he was rumbling around in the Clone Wars early on with
His
ponytail.
Oh, Aura Singh, yeah.
Or Singh. And as a kid, he was doing that. And so he's hard tied into the clones, obviously, his father, the Mandalorians. You know, he's faced Jedi, Luke. You know, he's in it all. He's chased Han Solo around.
Yep.
Yeah, he's kind of a dark side glue character that you know, he can really drop some knowledge, is what I'm trying to say. If Din wants to or needs to know something, Boba Fett's a great
asset to have on your side. I'm also curious to know what.
Let's say that Yogurt, whatever the baby's name is, called out, and it is Luke who answers the call. And we see Luke and Boba Fett face to face again.
Man.
As old men.
It's only been a couple years, though. Think about that.
That's true. That's true. They shake hands with some grays, but
Luke doesn't. Oh yeah, he does. I was gonna say Luke doesn't barely know Boba Fett because all he did in Cloud City was gravitate Han Solo's carbonite across the hallway. But they do fight obviously in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a personal thing. You know, it still seemed like why was Boba Fett fighting back? He was
hired by the Empire.
Well, he was a hired bodyguard of
Jabba
at that point, right?
Yeah, I think so. He went back to Jabba and he's like, "Yeah, give me some cash money, bitch.
Give me some cash. You got a party going on? I'll be the bouncer. How much?
50,000 credits.
Three squishy coins. I'm down."
Man, I cannot get over how fucking crazy it is. Him fighting was a treat, but seeing Slave 1 fly through the sky was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Are we serious? That was so nice.
You know what would be even better if there is something better?
Nothing's better than that. Unless Commander Cody shows up.
I
would freak. Oh my God.
If Baby Yoda reaches out and then you see a Jedi starfighter come into orbit or come into atmosphere and you're like,
who would be in a Jedi starfighter though?
What?
Who would be flying around in a Jedi starfighter though?
Exactly. Well, someone answering the call.
Mace Windu, he's still alive.
He's still alive. Dude, a cyborg Mace Windu. I'm going to say right now, I'd love it.
Get out. Never again.
Why
has that ever happened?
Why do you hate that?
I'm just sick of. No.
Look,
no.
If Yoda can last that long, of course Yoda. Well, yes, he was electrocuted. He was pretty fucked up. Yoda lost that fight. He just
he deflected it though. He didn't get totally zapped. He absorbed it with his hands. You know, he just got overpowered and then he fell down the shaft or whatever. But
well, he didn't have enough gung ho to get back at it. He fled for his life.
Listen, if they brought back Maul, they can bring back Mace Windu. I just don't think either decision is good.
I mean, they brought back Anakin Skywalker's pod racer, so we've already gone that far.
What?
Anakin Skywalker's pod racer's in the show.
I know, but
that died.
Visibly see it explode, and then it came back.
But
he sold it.
that was before Episode 3.
I'm not. Yeah, I know that. We saw Mace Windu get electrocuted and chucked out a window in like the top story of the Senate building.
In no less than one movie prior, Anakin Skywalker jumps out of a moving ship and falls down. And remember that? I hate when he does that.
True, but
I 100%.
He didn't just get done with a duel with the Sith Lord and got electrocuted.
I'm not saying
and got his arm cut off.
I'm not saying I would be happy with it. I think it would be a huge drop.
You think Samuel Jackson is going to be on Disney Plus?
It's a huge stretch, but they've done that with Maul, and they stretched him out so thin that I no longer like Maul.
That's the problem with that. Is like there are moments where I do like him. I'm like, oh, we get to see more of him. That's cool. Oh, Ray Park is in Solo. How fucking crazy is that?
Yeah.
But that doesn't. I don't know. I guess that doesn't rectify bringing all of Maul back.
Again,
makes sense. Like it's cool.
Is it just too much? Is it too much fan service? We go back to like.
But that one's not about fan service for me.
The
it's
Maul
about
and Solo, you're saying?
The Maul and the. Sorry, if they brought Mace back, I wouldn't be mad about it from a fan service perspective. I would just be mad about it because like you can just let people die. Like Maul is too much to bring back. Like how many Palpatine's back, Maul's back, Mace Windu's back, Boba's back. Like where does it end?
Take that, copy and paste it, and put Anakin Skywalker's pod racer in
no one ever really dies.
No one ever really dies.
No one ever really dies. God. Like, come on, guys.
No, I feel it. So anyways. So we'll do two questions. Real quick answers.
Okay.
Who do you think is on the other end of that Jedi phone call, and who do you want? So who do you want, and who do you think it's actually the two?
I'm assuming it's going to be Ezra.
Okay.
I think who do I want it to be? Honestly, I think it'd be cool if it was Luke.
Okay. I'm along the same lines. I think all signs point to Ezra. I don't think they're going to go anywhere else. If they did, my big one would I've always shit on the guy, but Kyle Katarn, if they put Kyle Katarn in this, look, I wouldn't feel that way if they didn't put the Dark Troopers in there. But Dark Troopers are hard tied with Kyle Katarn.
I agree with you there. Even though I never even played that game, like I think there's potential for that tie. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I 100% think they're just going to do an adult Ezra.
Yeah.
And just rock with it, which is fine. I'm okay with it.
So here's some fan art of Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker post Jedi.
Yeah.
And like here's people. This has been a fan request for a while. Here is his face with Luke's hair. Like I mean, it's him. It's fucking Luke.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy how close they are. So, I mean, I think that'd be cool. As good as they did with Solo and Alden coming back as young Han, I think they could definitely pull it off. It's just a matter of, are they going to go that hard? I'm here for it. But, you got Filoni involved. You got Ahsoka. You got Thrawn has been mentioned. It's only obvious that it's going to be Ezra that came back.
Yep. 100% think it's going to be Ezra. Unfortunately, I think it's going to hurt anything. Absolutely not. Actually,
it'll be fine.
You know what it's going to probably do is they're going to absolutely kill it, and it's going to make me go back and watch Rebels all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a way for me to appreciate the characters in Rebels, it's definitely having them in something a little quote unquote more serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bo-Katan is way better for me now in live action than she ever was in the animation. So if they do that with Ezra, as long as he doesn't have his fucking pea shooter lightsaber hilt, I'm gonna be all about it.
I no longer. I don't want him anymore.
Would you prefer that or a helicopter lightsaber? He takes one from the Inquisitors and puts a blue crystal in it and it's spinning around.
It's one of those things like, as a kid, I completely get it. It's like, dude, his fucking thing swings around. He just presses
Right.
the button, flies away.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that they fly away is even a larger stretch. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like they can soften their landing maybe with the wind speed from spinning that thing around, but come on, man, you're not doing takeoffs.
Yeah. So, and then the blaster, like, you're stretching it. It's one of those aspects that, like, it's too childish. Like, it's too out there.
Which, yeah, for a kid's show, I guess. But
Which
for
is
the
perfect for a
Mandalorian,
kid's show.
for the Mandalorian, where Boba Fett's stabbing a stormtrooper in the gut with a gaffy stick, you can't do the helicopter
Dude, he
sabers.
straight smashes the fucker in the face.
Oh yeah,
with a
shatters
gaffy
his
stick.
helmet.
Dude, that's one of those things that you come across, like when you see some blood from episode 7, The Force
Blood.
Awakens, when Finn something flips in his mind. There's people behind these stormtrooper outfits. There's blood. It's one of those. It's another flip of the switch that
they are outfits because the armor doesn't protect you against anything. They're just outfits.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, it's one of those things like when Boba Fett smashes the fucking helmet to pieces, you're like, he just killed a guy. Boba Fett killed a guy.
Boba killed a guy. You better lay low.
Oh,
yeah, that was good, man. It was good. Sorry, I don't want to nitpick, but let's take another issue that really was there only for plot device purposes. Why the fuck did Mando have to take his jetpack off?
Yeah.
And why, as soon as he saw stormtroopers, the first thing you do is go back and get your damn jetpack. What the hell?
That really felt like
random.
That really felt like a plot device. Like we have to put it in this conversation. He has to put it down because otherwise he's just going to fly back and forth. It's going to be super easy for him.
It's like, he's a Mandalorian. It's going to be easy no matter what. Also, he can fly up against the jet troopers or against the dark troopers and try to get his child back.
So
I just thought that was random.
When Boba Fett told him to put it down, I was like,
not your wrist rockets, not your pistol or your other rifle or just take the jetpack off, please. I don't want you to fly away.
Maybe, I mean, from Boba Fett's point of view, he does use the fucking thing as a rocket launcher, so it's like,
you're not going to rocket launch a human. You're going to rocket launch a ship.
He survived a Sarlacc, so you might want to make sure he's smithereens. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else? Dark Troopers. So, like,
I had a couple notes. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. I wrote, looked like Colorado. Luke Skywalker robot stomach on the assassin girl.
Good point.
Yeah,
I forgot that
cybernetic tummy.
Yeah, they went straight Bill and Ted and she pulled up her skin.
Oh yeah, she's like, I got this flap in case I'm hungry. I just stick some oil in this part and I'm good. I wrote Boba is the best in the galaxy. And I wrote, where the fuck did his jetpack go? Those were my notes. So yeah, mostly good. But why are you getting rid of one of your most valuable assets?
Yeah. I mean, the tension in that scene is fine. It's like they don't know who each other are. Obviously, Mando is on hyper. Yeah. He's on hyper edge. Like he doesn't know. Everybody's been flying out of the trees trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Welcome, Matthew O'Brien, dude.
Oh,
welcome back.
God, you're probably going crazy right now over that episode. I know you're a huge Boba Fett fan.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a great episode.
Yeah, it's like we get 30 minutes of Mandos doing their thing, which is always cool.
Yeah.
Obviously the end game to this episode was they no longer have Baby Yoda. Right. And I felt like that was going to happen.
And the Razor Crest.
Yeah, well, that was the kind of the surprise.
Yeah.
That was the huge surprise. I didn't think they would go that far. I'm happy they went that far. So people need to die. The same thing we argue for C-3PO and R2-D2. I love them. Kill them off.
Right. Kill them off so I can love them
honestly,
more.
And I would still, if I had to fix something in Rise of Skywalker, it would have been like kill Chewie. If like Chewie was saving Rey to save the day,
Don't even start.
I would have killed him. I
would have killed R2 or 3PO or Poe or Finn, not Chewie.
What if we
or the
Chewie?
Falcon? or
what
the
if
Falcon.
What if we see Han and Chewie in The Mandalorian?
Well,
They are
no.
still rumbling around.
Now we're getting into some weird 90s novels post Return of the Jedi with 70-year-old Luke and Han doing stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with how far they've went to connect people. I'm surprised they did not put Rebel pilots that we knew.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, like having joining up with the New Republic after everything was over, like Wedge and Biggs and people. Yeah.
Yes, people that had not been killed off in the original trilogy, put them as the people that find Din Djarin or whatever, can make contact. The Spider episode, whatever. I'm surprised they didn't go that far because they've been making connections everywhere else. So
Probably they're trying to make some distinction between the Rebels and the New Republic.
sure,
Even though it's the same people, it is slightly different. They're organized now. They have a government. They have we didn't even talk about that in the last episode or in the Siege, where Bro is basically a cop. And he's like, oh, so what happened? Oh, you saw here? He had his little notepad. He was taking down notes after the siege of that little base. They're kind of like police now. So, yeah, that makes sense. It probably gets annoying to try to recast people you know from the originals as younger actors. You know what I mean? Like, if they do it one time for Luke Skywalker, I get that. But, like, you can't go throwing, like, here's a young Wedge, and here's a young Biggs, and here's a young Y-Wing pilot guy who blows up.
Boo-hoo. That's... they've been sticking to the same 30 years
I know.
since they've came back. So, that's what you're going to come across.
Yeah.
So with Boba Fett
Yes.
coming back, do you 100% think Ahsoka is going to be a part of the rest of the story? It seems like they're doing the same thing they did in the first season. Look at these cool side characters. We'll help them out. And then, okay, whoa. We're 6-7 episodes in. Let's go collect those characters back because we've already seen them.
I mean, yeah, I hope they don't do the same formula. I'll say that I'm hopeful that she will make a return. I think the big puzzle here is what are they going to do with Baby Yoda? I mean, he obviously loves Din Djarin, but Din obviously knows that he's, has potential to be stronger than he needs to be. And he needs to find somebody that can actually like handle that and help train him. So I don't know. I think she might come back into the mix.
I 100% think. I do not think they would cast Rosario Dawson for one
episode. Yeah,
one episode.
It might not be in season 2. It might be.
That's true.
I think the rest of the arc here is that they need to rescue Baby Yoda, and that might take 2 or 3 episodes. And then season 3 is time for them to explore. We need to find a place for him. We need to go find Ahsoka. We need to find Luke. We need to whatever.
Do you think they had all this stuff pre-written? Like there was a select amount of seasons of storylines that they had or do you think they are doing it one at a time, one season at a time, building upon each other?
That's a hard one to answer. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like what they usually do is have bigger plot points. Like, I'm sure they know exactly who Gideon is, where he comes from, what he's going to be doing by the end of the show.
I mean, they've been
is he going to die, or is he going to be the new bad guy or whatever? They've
been planting the seeds to really broaden this out. Name dropping Thrawn is huge because then he could be the main crazy guy in the 3rd season, like we thought.
That's insane. That's just insane of them to do. I was not expecting that at all.
I mean, with the amount of storylines that we just talked about in this episode, this literally could go 5 seasons. We could do a Thrawn season. We could do a Gathering of the Jedi season. We can do a Siege of Mandalore season.
Yep.
Like
New Republic season.
That way, it's building blocks and it's all storylines that do lead to some major shit. The birth of Snoke season, like where does he come from? What led to him?
Palpatine's crippled fingers.
And it's all there's just toenails left of Palpatine.
Grab those clippings. We need his DNA to
come. The rest of his body blew up. We checked his fucking trash can in his shitter and they got toe clippings. We'll use those for the next 30 minutes.
Some of his hair is falling out over here. We're gonna get that. All
check
the
his
DNA
shower
we can. Midichlorians run stronger in the toe clippings.
Oh man, did the
Wow.
Emperor have a razor? Grab that too. There's probably some stuff on there. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Well, we gotta clone him from something, don't we?
Well, now that's where my headcanon's going. Yeah, man. I don't know. I really they have befuddled me time and time again this season.
Befunked.
Season 1 was so like there was some nice surprises, but once you get over Baby Yoda in the first episode, Baby Yoda,
Yeah.
the rest of the season is like, okay, cool. He's got to do these things, and then by the end of it, he keeps the baby safe. This one is we're throwing in so many areas of the universe that Ahsoka and Thrawn could be a tease for a whole new show, or that could be wrapped up in The Mandalorian, and that's its own season. They could go so many ways.
Now, have you heard
Yep.
the rumor?
Yep.
You have?
No, I haven't.
That
don't know what you're talking
Rosario
about.
Dawson has supposedly, and this is rumors that are way unconfirmed, but supposedly there are contracts for 3 movies with Rosario Dawson.
Crazy. Hey man, they have a lot of. I know you're getting pissed about the Skywalker era, but there is still so much time in between 6 and 7. They could do so many things.
Look, there's a difference between being stuck in the Skywalker era and doing Han, Leia, Luke shit over and over and over.
Yeah.
We are in the era, but we aren't touching them, which is perfect. And not only are we in this era, but we are pulling from the Boba Fetts who have been built into earlier eras, the Ahsokas who are from different eras. So it's like it's fine. It works, and I'm glad. I wish they did play a little more. I'm glad Baby Yoda is a thing because they're cross era species, like the Liaras of Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like Shepard was like her early 20s. Like that's
Right.
That whole era was, they last thousands of years. So it's cool to see and have people like Chewie that we can show him in episode 3 because he's still alive. Like they last forever.
Got to go get a warranty on those Wookiees.
Wookiee warranties. Yeah, I just, it's cool. I guess where I was getting at is I'm fine with this era if they keep going along the trajectory that they are. I was always tired of Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie doing stuff over and over. Oh, this time they battle the frog species. This time it's the remnants of the Empire. This time it's starships. And you're like, dude, I get it. They can't lose. Like,
if
what
they're
the fuck?
gonna have Ahsoka in 3 movies, there's nothing else in my mind. There's nothing else that they could do. If Ahsoka is in 1 movie, let alone 3, she's teaming up with Jedi. She's counseling Luke about his new order. She's staying away from the new order for this reason or that reason. She's scared of Luke because he has Skywalker blood, and she's obviously PTSD from Anakin. She meets up with Cal Kestis. She goes and finds Ezra. I mean, she's getting looped into the Jedi if she has.
Absolutely.
There's no other option. So,
and she could. What? I mean, riddle me this. What if she dies when Kylo blows up the temple?
I've heard some things about that too. Like if
Perfect.
Grogu gets wrapped up into Luke's Jedi Order and he's there when Kylo blows up the temple, or Snoke. Actually, it's actually Snoke. But
perfect. That adds so much legitimacy to Kylo and his power.
Snoke. It was Snoke. Remember?
That turned him to the dark side.
But
But you know what I'm saying. Like, even regardless, if you're gonna uplift Snoke's power, then it uplifts Kylo's too at the same time. So they both look good. They're both good.
Or they could easily be part of the. I mean, I guess we're kind of repeating Order 66, but they could be part of the Jedi Order and not happen to be on that planet when Snoke blows it up. Because Luke obviously didn't die. Luke wasn't there. He came back and saw it in ruins. It was like, oh my God.
You know what would actually be cool is instead of one guy just going to the dark side and becoming a murder machine.
That's the coolest thing you can do, really, though.
That's why all I want. I just want more Vader, guys. Is really what.
I want more Bane. I want more Vader.
Is if there was a ground level.
You don't even know. You don't even know.
I'm trying to think of like how they did it with KOTOR, where there was a ground level disagreement. Should we get involved or should we not? And that's what split the Jedi at that time.
Right.
Revan left and was trying to make a fucking difference. Not that he went straight to the dark side. He was just engaging the enemies, where all the other squabbling freaks were just like, no, we'll sit here and just think about it. That'll help.
Well, that sets the stage for if there is a Jedi movie in between 6 and 7. That's exactly what it would be, because Luke already talks about that in Last Jedi, that he didn't want to train Kylo.
Yeah.
He didn't want to start the temple again, or at least he was hesitant to. So I'm Ahsoka is probably feeling the same exact way after everything that happened with Anakin.
You know, it would be another thing that is if Kylo's era of Jedi wasn't the first restart of Luke's Jedi Temple era.
Oh, like he tried to do something, it didn't work out, and then Leia was like, I have a son. And then he's like, well, okay, I'll try this whole thing again.
Yeah, and which is a little extreme. It seems stretched out. But, step one after episode 6 is like, let's rebuild this shit. I have Obi-Wan and Yoda at my, over my shoulder telling me,
right,
hey, you should do this. You shouldn't do this. This is where we failed. Perfect. But maybe that should fail and he should learn from something from it. And then he was super hyper hesitant. And then his nephew came along. He's like, okay, I'll do it. And that fell apart. And that's when he's like, every time I try, people die.
Well.
So that's where he just leaves. And that would make way more sense with a episode 8 Luke, where people were pissed at him. But it's like, you don't know what he's been through. Every time he's tried, he was the poster boy in the original trilogy.
Right.
Then he's just been to himself a complete failure.
Yeah.
Throughout. So
absolutely. No, I'm with you there. I think the main reason that people if anyone dislikes Luke's arc in 8, I do have a feeling that it's because we didn't really have enough time to get into it. And if you saw a whole trilogy where all that shit takes place, and then he, tries to kill Kylo, and he has all those issues in episode 8, it makes more sense. You get the whole picture. But they had to cover that shit in like 5 minutes. You got a summary. You got the Wikipedia top of the page entry on why Luke Skywalker tried to kill Kylo Ren.
Also, if we've seen those snippets of Luke and Leia training together as Jedi.
Oh yeah,
that could be the original Jedi Order that fails that we're talking about.
Yeah,
that they could be training each other, growing, and that's where they start having children. That falls and crumbles.
Not together.
Well, they kiss a little bit.
Sorry, you.
I know.
That sentence was too close.
too close. Yeah. But yeah, so that would be a perfect failed attempt, and then a hesitated attempt with the Kylo generation. But
they could throw in. I know they CGI'd the fuck out of it in that little flashback in Rise of Skywalker, but they could cast Carrie's daughter as perfect. Oh, she was already in Star Wars. My bad.
Yeah, she
ignore what I'm saying.
But you could overlay anything. That's what they did with Tarkin. They had someone playing him, and then they kind of overlaid. Now, would that be too much? I don't know. I'm sure everybody would have their opinions, but
yeah.
Look, it would be a crazy cool way to have Ahsoka die.
Right.
Defending a new Jedi Order, which she's always, a changed Jedi Order where love and all this stuff aren't forbidden. It would be cool.
Yeah.
Because she obviously hated the one that she walked away from and knew they were failing. Mm-hmm. So, if we're going to rebuild it, we can't do the same fucking rules.
Right. You got to change some shit around.
We got, Thirsty Thursdays. Let's go out.
Casual Fridays. No robes in the Jedi Temple.
No robes.
You can wear sandals. It's okay. Wear a hoodie. Yeah, man. I feel like I want to say that sounds crazy, but what they've already opened up in the past 2 or 3 years, the door's wide open. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'll love it. 10 years ago, the thought of Boba Fett coming back on screen with Tamara Morrison and doing stuff, I would have said that's never going to happen. And I probably in this podcast early on said that will never happen. And here we are. So, door's fucking open.
It's nice. It's nice to have options and opportunities. Obviously, they've promised 30 or 40 Star Wars movies that are set. There's so many directors involved. There's people.
And shows, too.
Yeah. There's just shit falling out of our ass, but we just don't have We just don't have anything confirmed.
Choose a better analogy. God damn it.
But you know what I'm saying? We've been promised so many trilogies and so many movies and Old Republic stuff. And, you know, obviously people want Solo 2. So that'd be on the docket too. And it's like, we have Ryan Johnson trilogy. We have the you know, whatever.
Yep.
There's so much opportunity.
Yes, sir. I'm ready, man. Let's do it. I do think they need to ramp up the amount of content, though. I know things got pushed back because of COVID, but I really hope 21 brings us into a steady stream of Star Wars content.
Well, you know what it feels like, and what we are taking a little bit for granted with what we're, because we got season 7 of Clone Wars earlier this year.
Yep.
So it's not like we've had nothing, but you know, for 8 to 10 episodes in a series that, you know, can be as short as a half hour.
That's not enough to satisfy me for a year.
Exactly. And then you threw in like a last season of a cartoon. It's like, yeah, look what the fuck Marvel was doing. Dropping like 3 movies a year and they were all great. Let's get to that level.
Yeah. I wish they didn't second guess themselves. When they said they were trying to emulate Marvel and they thought it was too much too soon, I feel like they should have just pushed through, and maybe there would have been a rocky year or two. There was a rocky year or two anyways, because Star Wars fans are assholes. You should have just pushed through, and you know, if we have a movie every year and 2 series with new seasons every year, let's go.
They're legitimately look.
Well, I think we'll get back there.
What we're getting right now is on the same level as Game of Thrones.
What?
Because we're getting one. It's like one series a year. That's
you mean like the same amount? Yeah.
Yeah. That's
kind of, because Thrones is 10 episodes and 55 minutes long.
Exactly, from a certain point of view. That's what I'm saying. We're limiting ourselves. Yeah, I know Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones and it was fucking great.
Yes.
But that was like one thing.
Right.
That's all they were doing.
Yeah.
We could have fuck tons.
Right.
And we're limiting ourselves to one series. Now, with that said, I have heard rumblings that like the Obi-Wan series has started filming. I've heard that they're still working on the Cassian Andor stuff.
Yep.
I want this shit to overlap, or when one ends, begin another one. Like let's start pumping this shit out. I feel like they're getting there. You know, at least with the talks, the hints, you know, Obi-Wan, it's all getting there. The High Republic stuff's going to be launching here soon.
Yep.
I'm hoping that what's happening is they're just taking a deep breath before they really start hauling ass into this stuff, because they wrapped up what they needed to with the sequel trilogy. Like they had to do that.
They had to.
They had some fun along the way with the Rogue Ones and the Solos. And now let's do what the fuck. We got our money back.
Yeah.
Now let's do what the fuck we want to do and really push this thing.
Well, the really interesting thing that I would like to see is for the series to intertwine not just with other content, but with movies specifically. Like, there's no reason that a series can't lead into a new movie. Or a new movie can't lead into one of the new seasons of Cassian Andor or whatever whatever.
What they did with Clone Wars and Episode 3. Do an entire series that leads up to a pinnacle, and then we get a fucking movie drop.
Right. And no one knew that was, I mean, I guess you could kind of predict it, but no one knew that was happening back then. I didn't. I was like 14. They got potential, baby. Future of Star Wars is bright, yeah.
You know, I'm looking at different.
Boba Fett is back in action. We haven't talked about the end of the episode. Let's not forget about that.
Go ahead and let's talk about it.
Well, you said you looked something up.
You know, I was just looking at like confirmed, unconfirmed movie series.
Don't even waste.
And that's what, you know, this is a crap website. I don't even know what it is, but they've got listed. Let's roll down here. Ryan Johnson's new trilogy. That's 3 movies.
We ran
Kevin Feige's Star Wars movies, so that's 4 movies.
Kevin Feige.
Dillard's movie. I don't even know why Dillard's and Macy's is making a movie. Season 3 of Mando. We got Obi-Wan. We've got Cassian Andor. We know those, and the Bad Batch, which, you know, whatever. Oh, they're suggesting the Bad Batch is gonna release next year.
Yeah.
So at least next year we're gonna get Bad Batch, Cassian unofficially.
Yeah.
And
Mando season 3.
Mando season 3.
And in the following year, once all those things are rolling, you got to look forward to like 22. We're going to have Mando, Bad Batch, Kenobi, Cassian, Andor, all releasing seasons.
Chewbacca. There better be a goddamn Chewbacca series.
Chewbacca. What a Wookiee. Yes.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. To make,
No.
instead of doing Solo 2, which would be fine too, but if they did a young Solo and Chewie series where they...
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That might actually be good for them and take the pressure off of having to do like a trilogy of Solo movies. They could just turn it into a season. Because didn't they rumor Donald Glover coming back for Lando on Disney Plus? I feel like that was also one of those stupid rumors. Maybe that. Yeah.
Mandalorian spinoffs. Or do you think they're going to do something with Smoke Show? Wouldn't that be fucking
Which Smoke Show?
Cage match over here.
No, I don't think so.
Wouldn't that be
I
cool
think
to
she's
see-
cool and she's a nice character, but I don't think. She's not. She can't carry a show. I don't think.
Unless you got into her past, because she's obviously scarred from being a rebel trooper.
I meant her as. Gina Carano's awesome, but I think she's a fun cameo character. She's not
She
like
couldn't. Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? And I hope. Yeah, I love you anyways.
Don't do a full series, but love you.
I love you.
No, it's a valid point. I don't know if I could watch her just man a series, and it's like, but
Or woman a series.
Ooh, you're so true. You're so ahead of your time. I love it. Yeah. What if Baby Yoda has a series?
Yeah, the character that can't talk. That's like having fucking Gonk Droid as a series, which I would watch that. So yes, Baby Yoda series, Baby Yoda Gonk Droid. It's the pair up that we never knew we needed.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about the end of the episode. So they steal Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm. I put him in the cutest handcuffs I've ever seen.
Mando looks up and he doesn't say anything. He doesn't react.
Yeah.
He looked more shocked when his Razor Crest blew up, and he didn't even look shocked at that.
Yeah.
Like
I needed a scream. No.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it's just put the Vader no in there. That would have been fine. No, he doesn't say anything. He's just like, don't shoot him. Okay, great. Your child just got stolen, bro.
Could you imagine Boba Fett flying, just blowing shit up? He doesn't know.
If you could communicate with him, be like, Baby Yoda, put yourself in a bubble. Boba Fett's going to take out these Dark Troopers. Yeah, and then he goes to the wreckage of the Razor Crest, and he does find the little ball.
Of course, I called that right when they blew it up.
Yeah,
they blew it up. I'm like, that Beskar knob is gonna be there somewhere in the ashes.
Yep, and that spear that he got from the last episode, which is pretty cool. The symbolism of the only thing in the wreckage is like that Beskar. That's how durable it is. Like lightsaber, it can deflect a lightsaber, but it can also take, an explosion from a Imperial heavy cruiser. And then Moff Gideon approaches Baby Yoda.
How badass.
Who?
Moff Gideon walking in like, bitch, you're my pet.
Also, Baby Yoda's killing stormtroopers.
I'm fine with that.
No, I love it. It's great. They didn't actually die. Someone called me on that in the WhatsApp.
Yeah, they get up and walk out.
They get up and walk away, which I didn't catch. But I mean, he held both of them with the Force and cracked their skulls together, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting to the potential that they put into Baby Yoda. Like he's just now feeling out the Force. Obviously, he's trained, but he's still really young.
Yeah.
Also, who the fuck is gonna train a Baby Yoda? You have to outlive him.
Yeah.
Only Yoda species can train Yodas.
Yeah, or that's actually, I was going to say that you just perpetually train him over the course of a few generations, but everyone else is always going to be dumber than him.
Yeah.
Well, once he hits 70, he's going to be smarter than everybody.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Also, I feel bad for those stormtroopers. You just have to go get beat up by this little child. That's your job. That's your station on the ship. Go in this prison and Baby Yoda's going to throw you together.
Riddle me this.
I will not.
They've never officially canon said that Yoda is the only one of his species. They don't say that in the movies. They don't even mention that he's like a rare species. It's more assumed.
I'm pretty sure. And then Ahsoka says, I've only known one of his kind before.
What if we do come across
More?
like a whole fucking outfit of them?
I mean, I don't technically think they uncanonized Yaddle, right?
She can't be. She's in the movies. She can't be uncanonized.
Well, did they? Hang on.
I guess my reasoning is like we assume because he was Yoda species. No one knows anything about Yoda species, but they do. It's almost like the Liaras of Mass Effect. Like there's stuff known about them, but they live for so long that like this knowledge gets dropped throughout history, and they keep the Liaras keep going. The Asari keep going on. You're gonna live the Asari are gonna live through so many generations of people.
Mm-hmm.
Same as Yoda species. So it's like, I don't know. I would be fine. I would be 100% fine if they found a home world of Yodas and they were all Force sensitive to a certain degree. I don't know.
I was looking up to see if they like removed her from the special edition quote unquote version of Phantom Menace. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wondered if like if they just kind of like, well, we'll just forget about that character altogether because she was never really around. But I mean, yeah, she's there, so there's more than one.
Yeah, it's an interesting storyline that, you know.
And we're gonna have some things in the Yoda's gonna be in the High Republic. So, like, there could be a loose tie-in where, you know, obviously nothing's mentioned about it, but he could be sharing information about his species and where they come from, and maybe their species has a name and all that.
I'm fine with it. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
All right.
Star Wars!
So I'm off Gideon.
Yeah.
Plays with the goddamn lightsaber, darksaber, blade death in front of Baby Yoda.
Rude.
And Baby Yoda literally tries to grab it like a fucking infant dipshit.
Or like a really smart baby Jedi, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut you with this.
I will slice you up."
I mean, he's got some dark side tendencies. Let's not fool ourselves.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, I guess my number one thing is I want to know who he was communing with on the fucking rock. That is like number one. Fuck Thrawn. Fuck the rest of it. Number one on my list of what I need to know and what I need to see is.
So we said we were going to be pissed if Boba didn't show back up. He did. Will you be pissed if we don't find out who he communed with yet? The rest of season 2 is them just rescuing him. And then season 3, we get into the weeds with Jedi. Like, we don't actually know for another year.
As long as they get to it, sure, I'll be mad, be like, I wish I knew. But like planting the seeds is fine with me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So, yeah,
I'm
100% happy that
Boba Fett is back.
Yes.
Is your cat in front of your...
He's
right
he's jamming around here.
Edward, get the frick out of the frame, bro.
This one's Arthur.
Arthur, god damn it.
Audie!
Get out of the frame, you fucking wanker.
Thank God he's a black cat because it's just putting my background in front of it.
I was going to say, also, thank God you have a virtual background because, like, I can't even really tell if there's anything happening.
He's gone. He's just eyeballs.
I thought it was maybe glass armor for a second. I was like, she's not that rude. She wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Have you been doing anything outside of Star Wars?
I've still been trudging through Game of Thrones. I finished book 4 earlier this week and began book 5, A Dance with Dragons.
Yep.
So I'm fully invested. I really think Game of Thrones is moving up to that number 2 universe spot.
Oh, like above Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I really do. Now that I read this back in like 2012, so it's been a while. And obviously I remember the first 3 books pretty well because they're pretty close to the show, but book 4 is where it starts to split off, and book 5 especially. So, yeah. I'm a huge fan, and I really hope that he announces book 6 very soon.
Yeah, I've been kind of itching for some superhero stuff. I know Wonder Woman 1984 is supposed to be launching here real soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping they kind of just do some type of digital thing. I did see it. It was supposed to launch in theaters. It's pretty ballsy with everything going on, but they've already delayed it. You might as well do what you need to. So I would love to see that.
Sorry, Salacious Rum is in the chat. Hi, good evening. Didn't mean to cut you off, but I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, hey buddy. Kowakian monkey lizard.
Oh sure.
So yeah, Wonder Woman, next year you're supposed to get the Snyder cut. Is there a release
Justice
date?
League, you mean?
Yes. Snyder cut.
When is that supposed to be launched?
Sometime. Eventually. Did they put a date on that new Suicide Squad? And did we even talk about the new Suicide Squad?
No.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, well, not to, get into the weeds on some DC stuff, but James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy, is doing a new Suicide Squad movie.
2021 is supposed to launch next year. It's just called Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and
The
it's
Suicide Squad.
I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about comics, and especially nothing about DC Comics. But it looks like they're pulling in a lot of styles and features from like old comics, like back in like the 60s and 70s. So it looks really vibrant and flashy and wild and crazy. So
that's one of the things that I absolutely loved about Suicide Squad, and then they dropped it after the first 5 minutes.
I agree with you. That I know that's one of the first things that we said when we did that review is like it started off great and then like they just totally didn't know where they were going.
They just abandoned, yeah.
Yeah. But like look at some of these screenshots of like some of the characters and like their outfits. Yeah. No, it's like literally this is John Cena.
Yeah.
With this what is this half-helm Skeletor thing going? But like they really just pulled the costumes like straight from those old comics.
That's awesome.
So I know nothing about any of this, but yeah, it looks interesting. I'm totally going to see it.
What is this nerd ball? Yeah, Spike the Hand. Man.
Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Look how happy Idris Elba is in this. Where did you go?
Idris Elba, yeah. You know who else is listed for that is Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah. Captain Boomerang's back.
Oh, there's Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, yeah. Ferret person. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I have no idea what to even make of any of that.
Sylvester Stallone is cast for that.
Wow.
This is going to be great.
Should be fun.
Pete Davidson, John Cena. Yeah, there's some goofy names. It's one of those things like Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
Like it was a fun look, I'm not going to sit here and say I love the movie. It was a fun movie. You got to see Thor and Hulk like goofball it out. Yeah.
Best of the Thor movies for sure.
It's not saying much. I'm not a huge fan of the Thor movies. But yeah, no, I would agree. But it was just kind of like a fun side thing that like it added to the lore of Thor.
Jeff Goldblum, always a good guy to see.
Yeah, so no, I'm down with this. And if they were to continue that comic book-esque stuff where it was just like oblivious, like so out there.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on board. 100%. They dropped it. It felt like whoever made the intros to everything was one director, and then they switched directors halfway through the movie. So
I think they did actually. Same thing happened with Justice League. But yeah, I don't know.
What is with that? I've never seen that happen. Why wouldn't you just go with one direction?
I have no idea.
Halfway through, you have all your money. Halfway through, you're like, I don't think this is going to work. We'll just try to fix. Like, no, you just make the movie that's in front of you. And
the story is that the studio was trying to either copy Marvel or like kind of cash in on what Marvel was doing, and they kept focus grouping the shit out of it. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what happened. So
that's whatever. So shitty. Just let the artist, which at this point a director is a huge artist. You're creating.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, let the artists do their art stuff. Like,
Well,
you
it's
hired
no-
them for a reason.
It's no surprise why Joker did so well.
Yeah.
I think they figured it out by now. I think if what's the DC fan con thing called? Fandom, fan con, something like that.
Yeah, fandom.
I think by what we saw then, it's obvious that they're letting that happen now. I mean, we have a new Batman Arkham game with Batman not in it. I mean, that alone is pretty cool
Ballsy.
for them to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So.
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
The perfect direction. Maybe that was their plot all along. We'll make shitty movies. We're gonna make the money.
We're gonna nearly go bankrupt for 4 years, and then we're gonna
release those same movies with the good cuts and make double our money, double our efforts.
Yes.
And then yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean,
What
whatever.
do you mean though?
I don't have anything else to say about it.
Okay. See you guys. We'll check it later.
Cheers,
Check you later.
everybody.
Check you later.
See you later.
I hate this show. It's a nightmare. We should release a shitty podcast, make our money, and then redo the podcast to make a good movie. The Mopar cut.
Is that what you're supposed to do? Let's
Mopar.
get a focus group in to tell us everything they hate about the show, and then we can change it all.
Hey, you guys are terrible. All right. Well, we'll switch things up.
What do we do with that?
Do you want us to still start with the weather?
Maybe this episode will get tens of thousands of downloads because we didn't talk about the weather.
Yeah, that'll be it. They didn't start with the snow. Check this out.
Well, it didn't snow. That's why. Okay, goodbye now.